He called me out of nowhere 5 years after our divorce, demanding I fix something for him. He was rude, entitled, and barking orders like nothing had changed. But when I found out what he'd really done, I gave him exactly what he asked for, and it cost him thousands. If you've ever had someone take you for granted, buckle up, because this story is the definition of poetic justice. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's dive into one of the most satisfying examples of karma I've ever seen. I was married to a very manly man for 17 years. You know the type, the kind of guy who puffs out his chest, prides himself on being the provider, and acts like his paycheck is the only thing that matters. But here's the truth. While he earned the money, I ran our entire lives. I handled the bills, taxes, doctor's appointments, even made sure his mom got a birthday card every year. I wasn't just his wife. I was his personal assistant, house manager, emotional support system, and sometimes even his brain. And for a long time, I didn't mind. I told myself, that's just how relationships work. But slowly, painfully, it hit me. He didn't see me. He didn't appreciate what I did. And when I tried to talk about it, he'd roll his eyes, saying things like, "You make it sound so dramatic. It's just phone calls and lists. I'm the one who actually works." Those words cut deep, because what he called just phone calls was actually the invisible load that kept his world running. The breaking point. Year after year, it piled up: resentment, exhaustion, loneliness. I remember one night, sitting on the edge of our bed, staring at the piles of laundry, the unpaid bills, the half-empty dinner plates. He was on the couch, watching TV, yelling for another beer, and something inside me just snapped. I realized I wasn't his partner anymore. I was his employee, one who didn't even get paid. So I left. It wasn't easy. 17 years is a long time to untangle yourself from someone's life. But eventually I built a new one. I got my own place, my own peace. And over time, the bitterness faded. 5 years later, life was quiet, peaceful, until one day my phone rang. It was him. At first, I didn't even recognize the number. When I saw his name pop up, I actually laughed out loud. 5 years later, what could he possibly want? I answered against my better judgment and instantly regretted it. He didn't even say hello, just launched right in with his usual tone, that clipped, impatient voice he used when he wanted something. "You need to call the insurance company and get your name off my policy." I blinked. What? "The home and auto insurance. You're still listed on it. They won't take you off unless you call." "No, how are you?" "No, hope you're doing well." Just pure entitlement. I told him calmly that it had been 5 years. Surely he could handle one phone call himself. He huffed. "They said you have to do it. You created this problem, so fix it." Created his problem? After 5 years of zero contact? I couldn't believe the audacity. But he didn't stop there. Oh no, he called again. And again, every single day, for a week. Each time, his tone got nastier. "You're making my life difficult. This is all your fault. You need to take responsibility." It was like we were right back in our marriage, him demanding, me cleaning up his messes. Except this time, I wasn't that woman anymore. The moment of truth. So finally, I called the insurance company myself. Partly to shut him up, but mostly because I wanted to hear what was really going on. The woman on the phone was sweet. I explained that my ex-husband wanted me removed from his policies, and supposedly they wouldn't do it unless I called. She looked up the account and said, "Oh no, that's not true at all. He never called us. There's no record of him asking to remove you." My jaw dropped, and then I started to laugh. Of course, he'd never actually tried to handle it. He just assumed it was still my job. But then the rep hesitated and said something that made me grin from ear to ear. "Just so you know, once we switch his policy from married to single, his rate is going to go way up considerably. Are you sure he wants this done?" The mischievous part of me, the one that spent 17 years cleaning up after him, smiled so hard my cheeks hurt. I said, as sweetly as possible, "Oh yes, it's very important to him. In fact, I haven't lived there in 5 years. You should probably backdate that policy." The woman chuckled. "Oh, he's gonna get a pretty large bill." And in that moment, I swear I felt years of resentment just melt away. The payoff. I hung up the phone, leaned back in my chair, and let out the kind of laugh that comes from deep, deep satisfaction. For so long, I had been the quiet one, the helper, the fixer, the one who made sure his life ran smoothly. Now, I'd simply given him what he asked for. No yelling, no revenge plot, just honesty and a little administrative karma. I didn't hear from him again after that. No angry calls, no texts. But you know what I did hear? From a mutual friend. That his insurance premium had shot through the roof, and he'd gotten a hefty retroactive bill for the coverage difference. Thousands of dollars. All because he couldn't make one simple phone call himself. Emotional reflection. And here's the thing. It wasn't really about the money. It was about the principle. For 17 years, he dismissed every ounce of mental and emotional labor I did as nothing. He thought running a household magically happened on its own. He never noticed how much weight I carried for both of us. But the second that invisible labor was gone, his whole world fell apart. And even 5 years later, he still expected me to fix it. That's when it hit me. Some people never change. They only learn when life finally forces them to face the consequences of their own laziness. So, yeah, I gave him what he asked for. And for once, he got to experience exactly how much work his assistant used to do. I like to imagine his face when that bill arrived. The confusion turning into shock. Then anger. Then maybe, just maybe, a flicker of realization that the woman he'd taken for granted for nearly 2 decades had quietly and perfectly reminded him what she was worth. No drama. No yelling. No chaos. Just a polite phone call, a backdated policy, and a mountain of overdue karma. It wasn't revenge in a loud, fiery sense. It was quiet, elegant, and absolutely delicious. You know, sometimes the best revenge isn't loud or cruel. It's simply letting people experience the full weight of their own actions, without you there to soften the blow. In the end, I didn't need to hurt him. I just needed to stop helping him. And life took care of the rest. If that story made you smile, tap that like button and tell me in the comments, what's the pettiest but most satisfying revenge you've ever seen? Don't forget to subscribe for more true stories of karma, justice, and perfectly executed payback. Because sometimes getting even just means letting go.